Wonderful. Good morning, friends, near and far. My message for today, 19 October 2025, is not going to be easy to hear in some places. It will be gentle and courteous and as logical as I can make it. It's necessary for every person, I believe, to take a deep and wide and long look at where this world is going and how we each fit into this world. I ask myself, does my belief system function 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and in 360 degrees in every direction? Do I use my belief system to separate me from problem areas of logic? Does my belief system function to improve my life and the lives of people around me? Do I want to throw up my hands in exasperation and spin on my axis to walk away? Big questions. Many of us have been searching for decades for the most useful philosophical and spiritual binoculars, finally to see through the insanity of our current circumstances, or the circumstances of past and future times. This is no longer about political party politics. We're past that now. It is too late for casting blame, for dodging political bullets, or remaining neutral. It has become obvious to all thinking Americans and world citizens that we're now in an era of authoritarian domination of our government resources. So let's review some unity concepts and principles around which we gather. This is an important idea. Reviewing the basics is something that I do often in all of my interest areas. So in order for the tenets of our chosen faith traditions to have function and meaning in our lives, we must use them not to retreat from problematic circumstances, but rather to more deeply immerse ourselves in life anew, every day, in every situation. So it works for me today with my Unity friends. Is that going to be working tomorrow with people who may not have faith? The teachings, with a capital T, will stand up to the most stringent examination if we look at a list of principles of the Unity movement. Try using this list to strengthen our spiritual practice. So this comes from one of the Unity websites. There are numerous. Am I affirming divine intelligence and love in this situation? Am I remembering my own divinity and that of all others involved? Am I realizing that I am in this situation by divine appointment and it is important to my soul growth? Am I remembering that what I choose to think, feel, and believe influences this experience? Have I aligned myself with God, the universe, the good, and received guidance, tools before I act? Am I living by principle in this instance? Are my actions congruent with principle as I understand it today? So there's a list of 12 principles. I call them also tools or attributes of unity. And they are qualities as well. And I'll read them off here, but they're accessible to you on the website. Wisdom, love, strength, faith, imagination, order, understanding, will, power, zeal, release, and life itself. Of all of these, I will highlight several that jump out to me personally as the most important for most situations. One is the order, what I like to call logos, the logos cycles of life, to include the precession of the equinoxes. And when it comes to the precession of the equinoxes, it was discovered by an astronomer, Hipparchus in 130 BCE. And he thought it was that 1 degree every 100 years was the figure, where at the spring equinox, every 100 years, he said, the equinox moves backward in the zodiac 1 degree. The modern calculation is 72 years. So you might say the average lifespan of many people might be around that time. So that's 1 degree backwards. And that's around 26,000 years to go around the whole zodiac. That's a cycle. It's a cycle that can be measured and predicted as part of our logos, the understanding of order. Another one is imagination. And in these circumstances, I believe the most useful place to put imagination is in our current circumstances, to overcome, to deal with the chaos. I like in the theater, they say, if you have a problem, use it. So am I able to address conflicting ideas with patience and respect? That takes some imagination to tiptoe around tense areas. Strength. I apply this as strength of will to continue to do the great work, to return to problems of logic with new energy. That's strength of will. And then release. I look at that as the release of attachment to outcome. And now we like to say sometimes, let go, let God. I temper that a little bit. For me, it is letting go, but trusting the cosmic for me to use its energy, for the power, the imagination, the strength to understanding the order. And this is now going to be contested by some people, letting go and letting God. If that works for you, by all means, you use it exactly the way it is. But also, when we're tempering some of the ideas, we're going to quickly put in some of our own impressions of what these circumstances dictate for us. So maybe a slightly different wording works for each person. That's fine. Sometimes we become tangled in the zen of interpreting these words and terms. Well, I have an exercise for all of us. It's going to involve going inside ourselves for a few minutes, and it's going to be an exercise in choosing a goal, choosing a material or spiritual or physical goal for yourself, and then using the energy of this known universe to make it all happen. So I'm going to invite you to begin. So we can sit with the spine straight, with the feet flat on the floor, and breathing through the nose with a steady rhythm, using the diaphragm. This might be a new thing for some people. You will know that you are breathing using the diaphragm if you want to put your hands on your abdomen. And just feel that as you inhale, your abdomen goes down and forward. And as you exhale, your abdomen moves back into place. So we're breathing in a healthy rhythm through the nose. Now, take a look at the spectrum of your desires. They might be material desires or spiritual, or maybe regarding our physical health. Choose one very general and very achievable goal, and state that simply in your mind. Now feel the emotions of success with this goal. Feel that you already have the solution at hand. Feel the victory, the happiness, the appreciation, the thankfulness, the humility of deservedness. Concentrate on the full achievement of this goal, using the power of the universe, the cosmic, God, or the God of 1,000 names, to fulfill this desire. I'll give us about 3 minutes now to make the images as strong as humanly possible. At the end of the visualization, we're going to take a larger breath, hold it for a few seconds, and then release the breath with the thoughts of your desire into the universe. This release may take a few attempts in order to make it as clear as possible, using your strength of will and using your vast imagination. So I'll be playing some guitar sounds now, and you just enjoy the movie that you construct for yourself now. So now we take a deeper breath and we consolidate this desire into a realizable goal and feeling the success, feeling that we already have the success, the fulfillment of this desire. So we come back now, and coming back simply means that we allow the eyes to open, receiving light and receiving knowledge. So we want to remember we have philosophies, religions that are inspired by God, but written down by humans, most often by men. We're all beings of free will. Beings, men, women, young people, we all have free will. And we can tailor-make these tools for improving ourselves, improving our family life, friends, and society as a whole. And when we talk about society as a whole, that's enormous. I consider myself to be a world citizen now. And after being a world citizen, I'm a student of mysticism. I subscribe to the unity teachings and everything that touches upon the unity teachings. And that's enormous. That's an enormous field of endeavor. So in remembering the unity principles, God is absolute good, everywhere present. And we want to remember that in this universe, it's an infinite universe, and there are infinite possibilities. And every one of them can be realized, all of the possibilities, with patience and with understanding. So in applying these teachings, when you go back over that list of qualities, let's remember it's a good thing to get into conversations with people. They have their ideas built upon, we have to trust them, built upon their systems of belief. And we have to trust them to have the strength of their will to grow and the humility to accept some of the things that they cannot change. I cannot change people who disagree with me, but I can introduce ideas. I can ask questions. I can ask questions that will invite deeper thinking. And I can listen I can be silent for a while. And if it comes up, I can say, oh, good, I understand your ideas. May I interject an idea? And that invites that person to listen. But going back and forth is going to widen the possibilities for us. If we just throw up our hands and spin around and walk away, that's not going to work. It hasn't worked so far. So we're going to be accepting of the way people are and try with patience and love, with strength and faith and imagination, understanding. We're going to accept and put our ideas in as well. This is going to take a long time, but it's achievable. I truly believe this. I truly believe this. So at this time, I'm going to turn the control of the vertical and the horizontal back to Neil. And Neil, I'm in your hands now.